Hey Flosstube, it's Michelle Farm Girl. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, thanks so much. I've had a lot of new subscribers since my last video, and I really appreciate you tuning in. Just wanted to start out with, because I feel like those of you who follow me on Instagram would kill me if I didn't. Puppies! So Evelyn and Ivan had their second litter. This will be their last litter. We love the puppies, but there's so much work and they keep us up so late and they get up so early and they're really loud. We really love them. They're sweet as sweet can be. They just ate, so they have like messy faces right now. They had been out in the barn. We brought them in. It's just too hot with the heat. They just struggle a little bit. Mom doesn't really want to be around. She's uncomfortable. And then the flies take over. So it's finally cooled off today. It's under 90 degrees, which I'm really thankful for. We had a storm move through this morning and really cooled temps down. You may wonder why I'm wearing a sweatshirt, because I'm a freeze baby. So anytime it's under 80 degrees, you'll probably find me in a sweatshirt. But yeah, we're really enjoying. They just ate, so I don't know. Ooh, baby. Don't know what. It's killing me. I have lip gloss on and I can't smooch them, but I don't my babies. So we're really enjoying them. We love them. They're so sweet. They are, for those of you who don't know, they are an Italian sheepdog, and the breed is called Maremma. Sometimes pronounced Maremma, but we call them Maremma, and they're just adorable. They're very kind of similar to the Pyrenees. They're a little bit smaller, and they don't have the badger markings. Sometimes, like raccoons have the badger markings, they can be born with little markings on their face. Maremma are solid white. They shouldn't have any color on them. They're born with pink noses and pink pads on their feet. And you can see they're just starting to turn black. They'll be all black soon. Sometimes they have the double dew claws like the Pyrenees. And we get kind of mixed litters. For those of you who don't know, you know, a dew claw is that little extra toe that they have. And they get them on the front and the back. And this puppy actually has it on the front and the back too, but it's about half and half in this litter. They're super sweet. We just love them. So we're really enjoying them. Oh, they're so cute. They're just about 3 weeks old. They're going to be 3 weeks old in just a day or two. Maybe tomorrow even. I have to look at the calendar. But so they're just ready for their first worming. And they'll have vaccines soon, probably in another week. And they do not go to homes. They're not like other puppies where they start going to their new homes at 8 weeks. This is a breed that needs to stay with their parents, so they learn how to behave around livestock and that they shouldn't chase and do all that naughty stuff. So they will be here until they're at least 12 weeks, ideally even 16. And we did keep about half the last litter until 16 weeks, and only one puppy went home at 10.5 weeks. But she had other livestock guardian dogs at home to school a puppy if needed. But they're just sweet. So I'm going to go put them back with their litter. They're just adorable. They're really starting to play and roll around and become really active, as you can see. Oh, I'm sorry. So yep, if you want to follow their progress, I post most of their pictures on Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram. My name will scroll across here. Okay. So you may notice, same shirt, different hair. It's actually a different day. It's actually about 10 days later. I have had that, that video was, attempt number 3. I'm on now attempt number 4. I think I figured out what it was. I kept getting an error. I couldn't upload my video, which was a 2-hour video. And then I ended up just, deleting it down to an hour, and then it was so patchy. So I just decided to do it over again. Then I had an app that was running in the background, overriding all my other apps. So I think it was Messenger. It's probably all the messages I've gotten. It's been busy. I'm going to give a little retreat update. So, retreat has been, so normally when I do a retreat, I do about 40 people. It's easy and manageable for me. But I decided to bump it up. The, Oak Ridge Conference Center had the ballroom open. So I thought that would be a great opportunity to bump it up. I generally don't personally like invite people to come. I did this time with a couple people when I opened it up to 75. Theresa, who is Kitten Stitcher, I think she was originally tossing around the idea of coming back when the original signups were. Her friends, she's got the group, that they do the sampler exchanges. Kathy Krause, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Kathy, Jen from Jen Stitching Niche, and Sue from here on Flosstube, Susie Reno. The 3 of them are coming. Theresa was still working at the time, couldn't come. So I did message her. I asked her if she wanted to come. She said yes, she did. So I then took the opportunity to ask a little favor of her and asked her if she'd be willing to design a retreat exclusive for us, which she graciously agreed to do. She didn't even hesitate, actually, but that's kind of her MO. And she's already designed it. It's already been stitched. It's beautiful. I'm really looking forward to everybody being able to see it and to seeing her in person. And so everyone is now going to be getting one of those that is coming to the retreat. And we now have 75 people coming. It is full. I opened it up a while ago. If you're not on the Facebook group, that's the only place I'm going to post it. I don't want to make it like a crazed sign up. Oh, I thought there was a buck on the outside of the fence. He's inside the fence. So anyway, so I don't want to make it totally crazy signing up. So I just casually usually post something to the group when there's a spot available. And if you see it and you say, me please, then you get the spot. That's as easy as it gets. So I feel like it's kind of gives everybody the same opportunity. Because if you choose, some people have joined Facebook just to be in that group if they want to be in the retreat. Otherwise, I was getting messages from Instagram on my YouTube channel and on Facebook asking if they could be put on the waiting list, and I didn't feel like I had a fair way to do it, and blah, 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 blah. So I just post everything there, and that's the way it gets filled. So it's going to be a blast. About half the people that are coming are Flosstubers. Just shy. I think there's 30 something. I can't remember exactly. Of 75 people that are coming are Flosstubers. Let me see if I have a list. Okay. So, okay. So I have the list here. I am bound I'm going to forget someone. And if I do, I'm apologizing in advance. Please comment below if I forgot you, and I will add your name to the links. I'm going to link all these down in the description box. Mostly, this is going to be really nice for those coming to the retreat so that you can catch up on anybody that you don't know. Make sure that you're subscribed. And it'll make it a lot easier walking into a room of 75 people when you already recognize half of them. I feel like that's going to be easier for everybody. It's a large group. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I do like the groups of 40 because I can talk to every single person in the room before I leave for the weekend. And I love that. The one thing I will say that's great about our location is that we have all of our meals together. So if you've been to retreats where you have to leave and go find food and figure out who you're going to go with, especially if you flew in and you don't have a car and you have to, you know, find a group of people to go with, I've heard that time and time again that can be very stressful. My goal for my retreats, no matter where they are always going to be centered around the idea of that we're together for the whole weekend and that we never have to leave. The location for the retreat will be changing next fall, and there'll be more about that later, but I'm still going to try and provide all meals. I just hear over and over and over again that is the thing that people like the most about having the retreats at Oak Ridge. It is expensive, but I feel like the facility, you really get what you pay for and the convenience of it. And the thing I like about having meals is you really get to know people because you end up sitting at an open table. We all sit, they assign us tables specifically for our group, and you sit at a table and you just sit with you end up sitting with someone different every meal. And that's the time I feel like I really connect with people. Like when you sit and break bread with someone, that's when you really get to know them. So without further ado, here is the list. Farm Girl, Suzette, the Primitive Stitcher. I did call and personally invite her because she loves Theresa, and I know she's probably Jen's #1 customer. So I thought she should. So when I opened up the spot site, I did let her know there was a spot available. Mindi, Minty Stitcher, Michelle Bendy Stitchy, Candy Stitches, Jessica Schoolhouse Stitcher, Susie Reno, Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail, Kelly from the Joan and Kelly Show, Rachel Danowitz, Emily Weber, McKenna Stitching and Sequins, Angie Angela Meyer, I believe that's what her YouTube channel is, Jen from Jen Stitching Niche, Theresa Kitten Stitcher, Lori the Tech Stylist, Holly and Anita, Lisa the Kindred Stitcher, Jen Felicity Stitches, MJ and PJ, Yvonne the Night Owl Stitcher, Kim Parda, Joe from Pretty Southern, Julie the Purple Stitcher, Marlene Stitching by the Lake, Ginger Gerald Stitcher, Jessica Sporty Stitcher, Cheryl the Wayside Stitcher, Julie Gulf Coast Stitches, Pam and Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, and our last sign up was the one, the only, Carol Salt Box Stitcher. Oh my lands. If you haven't seen her, you need to go check her out. She is, we're starting a GoFundMe page so that Carol can bring all of her finishes, and we will safely pack them. That was suggested. It's probably not going to happen. I don't know that Carol would really agree to that, but and the first person on the waiting list is going to be Carol's sister. So generally, I don't get too many cancellations, but you know, there's usually at least 2 or 3. So really hoping, not that I want anybody to cancel, but you know, crap happens, and it's July right now, and this isn't happening till October. So for Carol's sake, I'm hoping that her sister can come, but I hope nobody has to cancel. Anyways, I have a lot to show you. I'm going to try and be better about making more regular videos, because then I feel I don't get these epically long, where it takes me 2 days to edit type videos. So I'm really going to do that. So I'm going to give you a quick farm update. It has been really nice. I did yard work for 5 hours today, which kind of was a blessing and a curse. Our yard is getting there. The only bad thing is, well, and there are some reasons why I had so much time today. So normally we would be clipping goats because it would be our county fair would start a week from Tuesday. And we're not doing county fair this year because the kids can't go to the state fair because my daughter is getting married the following weekend, and it's going to be too much. I'm going to be out of town for 2 weekends in August, and it's just going to be too much. So since we aren't showing goats this year, and because of my daughter's wedding, We don't have, and we've actually slimmed down on the animals a lot. We unfortunately had a raccoon come last year and last fall and killed most of our chickens. The chickens that were left, we sent with a neighbor. And we sold our cows also last fall. So things have gotten a little overgrown in the pastures. But I'm not mowing them. I'm just over it. So those are on hold for this year. But my lawn and a lot of the things that I would normally do that I haven't been able to do in a few years has been fallen by the wayside because our livestock is so labor intensive when you're milking. So we just decided we're going to dry them up early this year. So I'm in the process still doing that. I've been doing that for over a month now. This would be the time where they're heavily producing, but we don't have any animals. So normally we have 2 or 3 pigs that we normally feed our excess milk to, and we have chickens that love it, and we just don't have anything to feed the milk to. So we would be dumping it or still feeding the babies, and the babies really don't need it at this point. And you have to feed a lot more grain, and you have to feed a lot higher quality alfalfa to keep them producing. And we just thought it was a lot of extra work and a lot of extra expense that wasn't really necessary. I hear a kid on the landing. So we just decided to nix that this year. It's actually been really nice. My kids have had bonfires every weekend as a result because they don't have all the chores that they normally do. So it's kind of been a relaxing summer. That's going to end shortly. The chaos is going to be starting. I think I have about another 2 weekends, and then I'm out of town for 2 weekends. And then, and then something's happening. Oh, and then the next weekend after that, I'll be at my daughter's, and the next weekend after that, she's getting married. Oh, and then they decided to sell their house and move. And I did talk to her yesterday because it's a little bit scary that she's not thinking about her wedding in the least. At least that's what it seems like. And, well, she kind of confirmed it. So I'm like, do you think we don't have, if she's getting married in 2 months, she hasn't picked out bridesmaids dresses. So she just sent me a link to Amazon. She's like, here, this dress is fine. I'm like, good. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And she's getting married on a farm. So, not our farm, but on a farm. So, the guys are just gonna be in jeans and cowboy boots, and she's white button-down dress shirts and a vest, and the girls are just wearing kind of a simple maroon colored dress. It's gonna be fine. She's getting married on the day that I normally show my Nubians and my Sanins at the state fair. They're always the Saturday of Labor Day weekend at the Minnesota State Fair, and I'm usually there for 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I'm usually there for 5 days. I spend 5 days there the first part of the fair as well. The first weekend of the fair is the 4-H show, FFA, all those kinds of things for the kids. And then the second weekend is usually my open class weekend where I show my goats. So that was just kind of put on the back burner this year. So I'm just taking a year off from showing and enjoying it. My gardens have been eaten by my goats previously. And so I haven't had a lot of gardening because I think for the first probably 3 or 4 years that we lived here, I'd replace them every year, and it's got to be kind of expensive and very frustrating every time someone would leave the gate open and they'd get out and they would just decimate my flower beds. Goats are not grazers, so they don't really eat. I mean, they do eat grass. About 40% of their diet or less is grass. There's a whole herd of kids coming up.
My friends say hi.
Oh my god.
This is where
Oh my lands. Okay.
Go.
You have to introduce yourself.
I'm Maddie.
Hi, my name is Jorge. I am 18 years old. Recently graduated high school and looking for a new career.
A new career as opposed to your old one.
Hey, guys, it's Maya. I'm the farm girl. Hey guys, it's Marlene.
Works at Subway.
I'm Angie.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Subscribe.
Subscribe for more videos.
Bunch of dorks. Okay, got that out of the way. I heard them coming. I knew exactly what they were going to do. So, yeah, Maddie told me, so Maya, Mallory, and Maddie hang out together a lot. We just call them the Three Musketeers, and I found out recently that apparently Maya watches my channel a lot. So, hi Maya. Well, that was her. So and Maya and Mallory both subscribe, and they used to watch my videos during their study hall at school, and they were disappointed when they realized that my channel was not all about puppies. So my son also has friends here, so the house is very loud. Like I said, my kids have been having bonfires pretty much every weekend because they don't have chores to do, so they crack me up. It's costing us a lot to feed these extra kids every weekend. Today, the menu was tacos in a bag. And last night, we had hamburgers and hot dogs. So it is kind of nice because they plan the menus. But anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about. About how my goats decimated my garden. So, and then unfortunately the weeds were really bad. So I sprayed some weed killer and that did absolutely nothing. It's like residential, you know, the kind of stuff you buy at the yard store or the like Home Depot or whatever. So I went to kind of the industrial strength farm stuff that we have in the shop, and I got rid of the weeds, and there must have been some overspray because my perennial garden disappeared and Timothy grass started growing really well in my flower beds. And then I realized that it was only Timothy grass and everything else was gone. So I'm in the process of replanting those, and it's not looking so hot right now. So anyways, we are going to go through one other thing I wanted to mention on the Facebook group. We do an exchange. Well, we did our first exchange. We just had the sign up for our second exchange. And so there's about 40 people participating in that one. Last time we had about 30. So good groups. And this one is, you had your choice of fall, just a general fall, specifically Halloween or Christmas. And I'm going to be working on that list soon and doing all the pairing, and hopefully tomorrow, so I can get those out to everyone. And then those will be, we'll be mailing those on October 1st. So if you're interested at all in doing one of the exchanges, please join the group. That's how you sign up. And then I just ask that you post your pictures once you get them. And it was a lot of fun. And so what we do is we stitch a little small. And so you send a small with whatever the theme is. So this one was done at the end of June. So we did a patriotic exchange. And then we include a $25 gift. You also include, I send your email to your exchange partner, to your 123 Stitch wish list, so that they can buy you something cute that you want. And it was super fun. Kathy had me. So my exchange person, so I sent out to Denise, and I'll post a picture here of what I stitched for Denise. And okay, that chart was hats off to Uncle Sam. Not a lot of stitching involved, but it's a super cute, fun little drum. It's not my first drum that I've done, but it's been a long time. I did one for my mother-in-law a couple years ago. It was a scattered seeds. That one was really cute. And this one was definitely an improvement. I feel like my finishing skills are definitely improving. And then I'm going to show you what I got. So Kathy had me, and I'm going to show you a picture here, even though it was in the video. I'll show you a picture here of everything that she sent me, which was incredibly generous. And it was very generous what she sent me. This isn't necessary to go over the top like this. Some people did, some people didn't. It's totally fine. It's just a $25 minimum. But this is the small that she stitched me. It's beautiful. I think it looks like it's done with one strand of floss on a 32 count, which I really like that for primitive designs. I have one I'm going to be showing you today that's also a 32 count stitched with one. And this is, this pattern is, I believe it's heartstring samplery. And then she made me these little pins, and just stuck those little pins in there, which are adorable. And then just her super cute finish, and it's the back. And it's just adorable, and I love it. It's very well made, very nicely put together, and I appreciate it so much. So thank you. I'm also going to show you a few of my previous finishes. So this is America, and this is by Little House Needleworks. This was a finish, I think, 2 years ago. And I believe I heard somebody else say that this is one of Diane's, or this was Diane's first published chart under Little House Needleworks name. And the called for fabric was a 16 count Heatherfield, which that fabric is not available anymore. I had it in my stash for like 20 years. It's a weird fabric. It's like wool. And I have seen some, mine is really nice, really soft, and it's beautiful. I've seen some not so great older cuts. But this is really a nice, pretty fabric. I do have a little bit of it left. So, and then this was just an old frame. I had originally painted it black and I didn't like it, so then I painted it white and distressed it. And that's that was a frame that came from Hobby Lobby that or not from Hobby Lobby, from Stitchville, that had another frame piece in it, and I just repurposed it. And then this, I know, so this must have been a couple years ago. This one I stitched last year. This is out of Blackbird Designs, Sweet Land of Liberty. This is now an out of print chart. So you can still get it. And if I were you, I would get it. I've seen a lot of people stitching that little pin cushion there. This was also originally released as one of the Dying to Stitch kits, I believe. And then later published in this book. But there are so many great charts in this book. Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, just showed her finish of Salute to Abigail, I believe that's called. It's also in this book. Very, very pretty. And there's, I mean, this is like a highly stitchable book. Like there's everything in it you'll love. So I did this one here. This is my finish. And Misty Purcell also just finished this. She did it kind of in the similar kind of rope frame, but her frame was white and the rope was on the inside. And this is just a stock 8x10 frame from Joann's. And I did mine all in DMC. I hand dyed the fabric myself, and I really wish that I would have done it in the overdyes, but I mean, I'm not going to restitch it, but there it is. I just think it would have been a lot nicer with the overdyes, but so that's that. This was a finish from this year. This is John and Abigail Adams by Plum Street Samplers. This is my finish. I love how teeny tiny it is, but how much... I always have a problem stitching smalls when there's like one word across here or something, because it doesn't really feel like I've stitched anything. So the fact that this was like a full-on chart with a ton of stitching, and then it turns out to be this itty-bitty thing, I love it. But so there's my finish there. This one I did a combination of DMC. What I love about Paulette's charts is that she always provides a DMC equivalent for the overdyes. So I used a lot of that. I did use, I think it was B5200 or something for the white, just a really bright white. And you can see the little fence down there. And so I used DMC for pretty much everything except the berries and their outfits. And I use DMC for the rest. Oh, that's just a little fuzzy on the flag there. I filled this with sawdust. I wanted like a really, oh, and then I love this fabric. So this fabric is a reproduction Civil War print. So I've had this in my stash for like 20 years. At least 20 years. We lived in St. Paul when I bought this. And yeah, for sure. And it just fits perfectly. So I filled this with sawdust, and I wanted it to be kind of dense. I love sawdust as a filler. So yeah, I just really, really like this. It's really dense. It's got such a different texture. I like that it's a little bit weightier. I could definitely have put more in there, but I like this really kind of flat finish. And I like how it just kind of stays put. It's really malleable. I mean, you can, move it around, and I could have filled it a little bit more, or I could puff it up and make it more like this. But I just really like how that works. I've heard a lot of people mention that they're buying it off of Etsy, and I mean, feel free to do that, but I just contacted my local mill in town, and they had it, and there's a sifted, and it's great. They actually sell theirs in bulk to some company, but I just asked them if they'd sell me a garbage bag full, and I got a huge garbage bag full. My other finish was a Mania Start, and this is a Sub Rosa design. It is a freebie. I believe it's available on her website. She just actually released a brand new freebie. It's a strawberry, a patriotic strawberry, very cute. That's on my to stitch list. But this one was a little bee, and it's just adorable. This one is filled with crushed walnut shells, so a totally different finish, and I love it equally the same. I have even changed my mind about using the litter bedding, the lizard bedding from the pet store. It's more like a sand texture, and which you could also use sand too. I bet if you use I wouldn't go to the Home Depot and buy the sand there, that construction sand that they have, but I bet if you use playground sand that's all sifted and dry, I bet that would be nice sand to use. But this, I really like. I love the weight of crushed walnut shells. It's definitely the heaviest. I really try and stay away from polyester. I just don't care for it. So I usually will stuff my smalls with wool, and by wool I mean Angora rabbit, which sounds crazy, but when you have an Angora rabbit and you have fiber coming out of your ears, this is what I just bag mine like this. A lot of times these are the cuts that aren't spinnable, and I don't even keep it. I just trimmed him, and I don't even keep the stuff that's spinnable anymore. This stuff has been handled a lot, and but it's really nice, super soft, but it's not really spinnable. And I handle it so much that it kind of starts to felt on itself, so I end up using my hand carders before to loft it a bit, and that works well. So I will post, actually you can just go to, this is part of the Prim Stitcher Society, has a fantastic selection of free designs from a lot of designers. A lot of designers post little freebies to there, so if you're not a member of that group, by all means go join and rifle through that list, because there are some goodies there, and I just love this. This was very sweet. I didn't have a lot of the colors. Her color list, what I love about the Sub Rosa patterns is that they're just limited colors. There aren't a ton of them, and they're easily swappable, you know, for anything that you want to stick in there. This was not many greens. It was a brown, a green. I think I used 2 different yellows, one for the bees, one for the hives, 2 pinks, and a white for the leaves. That's it. So once I finished that, I really enjoyed stitching that. So I wanted to go check out her website. So I found her on Etsy. And I'll post a link to her Etsy site. And I'm sorry my paper is so wrinkly. And but I bought this pattern. And I finished it. This took me a lot longer than I thought. I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure why that took so long for me to stitch. But it took longer than I anticipated it was going to. Let me get something to put behind this. So there's my finish. It's really pretty. I think this was a Lakeside Linen Vintage Meadow Rue. I'm pretty sure I did it on a 36 count. I did swap the blue and the red. I think her blue was Freedom, and I don't remember what the red was. But I think I used Uniform Blue, and I don't know what the red was. I just wanted it to look kind of really faded, and it, you know, and variegated, and it does, and I love it. Super pretty. This is a series. This was number 1 in the series, and I believe she's at least up to number 5. I just purchased another one. It's like a patriotic flower pot. This is how I intend to finish it. So I got these things to finish it. I'm going to try a Priscilla-like finish. So wish me luck. I am no Priscilla. I've actually had this stuff for weeks, and I really prefer simple framing. This stuff, like, just, it's not my thing. I think it's super cute, but I put way too much thought into it, and it ends up to be weeks before I get it done. These are just individual little flowers that I got for like $1, and I figured I would just, like, you know, put these on one end, put this in the top, and put this around the center. Although she just finished Liberty Lane. She finished hers and Chelsea's, and I really like the little bunting that she put at the top. So this would be cute with some stars at one end because it is a little bit bigger. Some stars at one end, and then some bunting would be super cute. Okay, I actually think that's all I have for finishes. I did want to show you one other thing. I see a lot of people posting pictures of these patriotic shaker boxes, and I just wanted to show you a quick craft project that I did. And I know 4th of July is over, but you could do these always for next year. So these are just a set of 3 paper mache boxes. And I just painted them and antiqued them, and I just hand painted them, like no stencils. You could get fancy and do them a little nicer with a stencil, but I didn't. I just drew them with pencil and then painted over it. So it's very not fancy at all. And then I just used a little antiquing wax over it. The really nice part about these, they make a great display. They make a great display, but then they're stackable. So it's a lot of impact for very inexpensive. This was a set of 3. They're available, you know, at all the big box craft stores, and use a coupon. Super inexpensive. And you can really do, you know, for what it would cost you for 1 shaker box, you could probably do 3 sets of these for every holiday. And that's really probably my plan. I have another set for Christmas and another set for Halloween. And when those dates roll around, you'll see those too. I also have all of my Mania starts, the second half of my Mania starts. And I was going to show you those, but, you know, I think to show Mania starts in July is just, yeah, I think I missed the bullet on that one. But I'm going to show you some of the ones that I did make like a fair amount of progress on. Okay, so my first one is a heartstring sampler, and you're going to wonder if all I stitch is Brenda Gervais, heartstring samplery, and Plum Street samplers, and why, yes, I do. But that's, oh, and Blackbird Designs. I feel like those 4 designers are just really what I'm all into right now. And I'm just enjoying their patterns. And I realized that when I laid out all my Mania starts, there was a little bit of Stacey Nash in there too. And I just am really drawn to those particular designers. So anyways, I have this. So I started one last year for Mania. And that was my start, and that's all I managed to accomplish. And so this year, I started the other one, and there it is. And I actually did get the bird done as well. This is actually on an MCG textile linen, and I know that's like, no. But this is great for this particular project, and it's just in DMC, and you coffee dye it after you stitch it. I've coffee dyed plenty of stuff. I've never coffee dyed anything after I stitched it. So I'm confident it's not going to run because it's DMC and it's pretty color fast. So I'm looking forward to getting those done. Those will definitely be done this year. So not a ton of progress on that, but I did have some. Then I started Plum Street Samplers, and this is Jack's Bash. And I love this. I hand dyed some fabric for this. I wanted to do it on a gray because I thought those oranges would be really pretty. And this was this is just that top corner flower. Mine looks really different. I'm going to double check it looks vastly different. I know I have the orange right, but I don't know if I have the border right. So I'm just going to double check my colors. But when I did all my Mania starts, I stitched in hand because I was not going to swap out that many Q-snaps. And so my stitching is not great because this was in the very beginning. I have improved, and depending on what I'm stitching, I'm doing more stitching in hand. There's definitely some of this that's going to have to be pulled out, like all that white in the flower. It looks hideous. But I'm not really loving my stitching on that, but I'm going to try and push forward with that because I really don't want to pull it all out. Then next I have, this was an old club kit from Dying to Stitch, and they had some leftovers. And in our last kit, they sent out a letter saying that if you were interested in any of these past charts or kits from previous from some of the previous club kits, that they were going to make them available to current club members. So this is one that I chose. This is Summer Garden Blackbird design. I thought it was very pretty. It's stitched on a 32 count linen, and it's stitched with one thread over 2. And I just really like the look of that. It's just very soft and pretty. So there's my start on that. I also stitched that in hand, and I feel like I was doing much better by then. I made a little bit of a mistake here that I need to pull out and correct. But yeah, super pretty. I'm going to finish it just like the club kit. So enjoying that one. Next, these were gifted to me by Paulette, and I love these so much. I already know how I'm going to display them. I'm going to be displaying them in this little galvanized tray with maybe like some hay or something stuck in there. I am hoping that's going to still be a summer finish. And then she went and did this. So these are a couple new releases to that. I am super in love with those. I have not purchased them yet. I made a deal with myself that I had to finish all 3 of these. So this is Sheep Heap, Snort Stack, and of course my favorite, Goat Load. And I think I mentioned before I thought this was a Sanin. I actually think it's a Nigerian dwarf. So I think this is an Alpine, a Nubian, and a little Nigerian dwarf. I am absolutely in love with these. And I'm almost finished. So I did finish Goat Load. Isn't that super cute? For the most part, I used all the called for colors. I think I swapped out the whites. I feel like I always swap out the whites because I like my whites to be really bright. Snort Stack, everything is the called for. And except for maybe the green, because I think it was like pine needles or something. And so I did swap out the greens on most of them. And then the last one is Sheep Heap. Is that what it was? So Sheep Heap, if you notice the inside of the sheep, that pattern it's tonal. It's white on white. My parchment is so white, I could not get the white to show. So I ended up swapping it and just using gray, and I really like it. And I've only done one color for the berries or those flowers. They look like raspberries to me. And I think I'm going to do, so they have these little flowers that are hanging out of their mouths here and that are down here. And I actually think I'm going to do them in French knots. So stinking cute. And those chickens, I can't wait to do those chickens. So I think those are going to look great in my little tray. I just need to get these all done. So as soon as I'm finished, I really just have the hill on this one, this second color of all the berries, and then the French knots to do. And then the pig, I just have to finish that pig and pretty much do the hill. And I think that one is just about done. So just another day or two and then finishing these. And I think I'm going to finish these 3 and then get the other 2. And then I'm going to start on those right away. Those chickens are, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with those, and the cows are so cute. So I could look at these all day. I love these. I'm trying to think of other animals that she can do. I mean, llamas or alpacas probably aren't going to work because it's kind of like hard to get all those necks in there, but I love this series. So looking forward to finishing these so I can move on to the others. Okay, my next one, Paulette's going to start to think I'm sure I'm feeling stalkerish to her right now. This is American Sampler, another Plum Street. This is so stinking cute. Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, says she wants to do it. And I was going to say, hey, we should stitch it together. And then she mentioned something about like big projects taking her 4 to 6 weeks. And I was like, I'm not stitching anything with her. I mean, a small project takes me 4 to 6 weeks. A big project takes me longer. I'm hoping to have this done by next 4th of July. So I'm not going to ask Carol to stitch it with me. I'm just going to stitch it myself. But I fell in love with this after watching Nicole from Nicole's Needleworks, and she finished it, and it's beautiful, beautiful. And she had swapped out, I think I remembered her mentioning something about swapping out this color is Calico Kitty and the star, and I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but I'm glad I left it in because it just looks kind of faded and washed out, and I really like that. So here's my start. I got a pretty good start on it. This is, you know, working on it. I think I probably worked on this for 5 or 6 days, and, you know, still missing some things in the border there, and that roof is not quite all done, and the star isn't quite all done, and nothing is really finished. And I just jumped around a little bit. But I love this. My fabric is a 36. I feel like I'm stitching everything 1/2 on a 36 count linen right now. So this is just a Zweigart light mocha. And it's very pretty. Love it. So really enjoying that one. Probably won't pick up that one for a while now. I wanted to show you one other finish. This was also a mania start for me. And this is Berry Days at Thistledown Farm by Brenda Gervais. And I will have a link to this and to the little box to finish down below. So I had actually had these boxes in my stash, so I don't think they're the right size, so I did not order these from Brenda, but so whenever I order one of these, I always have a couple. So I have this will probably end up, this in a kit will, not my kit, but another kit will be probably a door prize for the retreat. So it's just a cute finish, and I used the stain on this one to also stain the drawer. I'm not sure how I felt. It kind of picked up the color weird. What has it done now? But it's an adorable little finish. And here is mine all stitched up. And you can see in the pattern in the back there. So Brenda suggests using a piece of paper or a piece of notebook, an old page from a book to line the drawer. And then there's this adorable little needle book and the little strawberry. So I did it all. I followed the instructions for finishing. I am a hand stitcher. I prefer to hand stitch than using glue. And then I use stitchery tape to stick it on there. But I just tacked on the rickrack, and this is a linen rickrack. It's also available from Country Stitches. This one I did order from her. I like it a lot. And it matched the fabric really well. And then the little strawberry here is just, she suggests from the pattern doing it in a flannel. I didn't have any flannel that was the right color, and this color is kind of like a persimmon color, and it was every fabric I tried just kind of clashed with it. So I found this in some new stash that I just bought, and then I went through, I have a jar of buttons up there. I've had that forever and a day. And so they're just old buttons that I dug out of there that matched and they are this kind of odd persimmon-y color too, so it went well. And then I just stitched the strawberry on there. This is just some waxed thread that I use for my bookbinding days. I have linen wax threads and attached that on there. So, and then I just tacked it down behind here with the stitchery tape. And how cute is that? And then here's my drawer, and I put a little, I just use cardstock instead of using a page from a book. Because my drawer was wider, the book had to be a lot wider. And I just didn't have anything that I wanted to tear apart from that. But I wanted to show you, I think my favorite thing is this little needle book. It is so cute and so sweet. And it looks really vintagey, and it's not. So there's the little lady. And this is some thread, some waxed thread. And then here's the back. So the back has a bunch of little strawberries, and I just followed her very easy instructions in the book, and it's sewn together with just, you make just a little hinge here. And it's just tacked together. And then on the inside is just this little cute calico print fabric, and I took some seam binding ribbon and strung that across there. And you stick your needles in it, and it looks, doesn't it look very vintagey? It's so cute. I love little stuff like this. So I really like this, and I really hope to do more of these little finishes this year. I really like this kind of stuff. The finishing is really very easy. Her instructions are very clear, and she gives good measurements. So if you think you can't finish this, you really can. And that's that. Let's stick that in there. Okay. Okay, and then I wanted to show you the whip that I'm currently working on. I didn't seem to bring the chart up with me, so I will insert a picture here. This is a Brenda Keys. It's called Puritan Sampler. And so that should be rolling across the screen right now. And this was a 2017 Mania start for me. And I'm just getting back to it. I love the colors in this. And so for Mania last year, I just finished this part right here. And in the last couple days, I've stitched all this. So this is stitched on a 36 count hand dyed, baked and basted kind of linen. And it's... actually bought this, so I don't know, but it certainly looks like it was, that's what it was. And it's just all done in DMC. It's stitched 2 threads over 2 on a 32 count, so it's fairly easy stitching. It's really pretty. I feel like the colors are a little bit darker, but I'm really enjoying that. I'm torn about that border. I'm going to show the picture again, and I am not sure if I really want to do all that. And originally I had, but I'm afraid that is a lot of mindless cross stitches, and I really like the colors and I really like the effect of it, but realistically, I'm not sure if I'll do it because this is going to fill up like from here to here and here, like probably out to here and way over here with just that border. And I really don't know. And I think it would be super cute without the border. Really cute. And I don't know that you'd really miss it all that much. So I guess this one remains to be seen. We'll see how that goes. More on that later. Okay, and what else did I have for you? I did have a bunch of gifts that I wanted to show from the retreat, and in order to keep this video with all the stuff that I did want to show you with my finishes and all that, I just need to omit that. And I'm sorry if anybody is sad about that. I am super, super grateful, but I kept finding things that I was forgetting, that I would forget to put in my last video, and then I'd put it up here to put in, you know, make sure I put it in my video, and I didn't want anybody's feelings getting hurt. But it's been so long now. It's been 2 months from the May retreat. I just really feel like that's really counterintuitive. I did want to show a few things though, because these are people that have Etsy sites, and I did have a gift from Michelle, and she is Main Moose Mom Stitcher on Instagram. She does not have a YouTube channel, but she sent me this ridiculously cute mug, and this mug is from Coats Creations. Okay, there we go. So she's on Etsy, and this is the mug. This is my new Moscow Mule mug. It is freaking fantastic. That's a Nubian, and it says Farm Girl on it. Okay, my favorite thing is this handle. So these carabiner clips are actually what we use to lock the gates in our barn because the goats get out constantly. So this is like, this girl must have goats because this is fantastic. It's so amazing, and it's an insulated mug, and I love this. It's so awesome. So thank you so much, Michelle. That was really appreciated. And then she sent me these fantastic needle minders. Look at those. Those are awesome. With a goat and a moose. Love it. So thanks so much, Michelle. I really appreciate that. So unnecessary to send me things, but it's so, so super sweet that people see things like that, and it makes them think of me and they want to send it to me. I did get a retreat from Tina, who graciously gifted a lot of these to us, and or gifted a lot of us these. So we had a choice of either a scissor fob or the thread keep, and it's been killing me because, you know, there's that law that says that you can't use it until you show it, which I hate. So I'm super excited. I already took these out once and I had to repackage them for the video. But this is a scissor fob, and these are sampling of memories. And this is LaDonna. And I'll post a link below because LaDonna is now doing videos, and she is a wealth of information. She does a lot of samplers, and she puts really interesting things on her videos, and I love her, and her little vignette behind her is adorbs. And so I went to Stitchville recently, and I bought this for myself. So this is a little thread keep. So they do carry these at Stitchville, if you're wondering where. They're in the front of the store, in the window, you know, on the spinny things, where all the little scissors and stuff are, if you're looking for them. It's got a little button and a thimble, and then it's got this little floral motif from a sampler. It's so cute. It's just adorable. So love those. Love them, love them. Then I had to show you this. I got this package in the mail from Cheryl, who is the Wayside Stitcher. She has one video, but she's very active on Instagram and on social media. And she messaged me. She's like, I have some stuff I want to send to you. give me your address. So I gave her my address. This box showed up. I about fell on the floor. So much goodness in here. I can't even stand it. And it came with this postcard. Are you kidding me? A goat with her little hair and rollers. I mean, how stinking cute is that? And she had this in her postcard stash. So she is just that amazing. But how cute is that? I'm going to totally frame that. Okay, so first she sent me this Erica Michaels kit. Are you kidding me? It's on 40 count, which I've never stitched on 40 count silk gauze. I've stitched on silk gauze, but not 40 count. I stitched on 40 count silk gauze, or on 40 count fabric, so silk gauze should be easier. Silk gauze should not be intimidating. It's actually easier to stitch on than fabric. It's easier to see. It's different just because it's a different texture, but it's easier to see, I feel like. But she included, so this has the silk gauze and it has these two beautiful silks as well. And they're just gorgeous. So pretty. So I really want to get stitching this. I love this. She also picked up scattered seed samplings. This is so cute. I have wanted this since I saw Priscilla's finish, and I'll post a picture of Priscilla's finish side by side here. How cute is that? I love it. And Priscilla knows I'm posting her picture. So don't be a tattletale. So love that. And I didn't already have it. So I'm looking forward to that. Then she sent me this amazing fabric. This is, I don't know how to say that. It's Goddyri Designs. This was a limited edition fabric, and this is 32 count. It's called Dawn of Spring, and this is so pretty. Can you see just like the really muted tones of pink and yellow and purple and blue? It's so soft and sweet. I love that. And then, are you kidding me? She sent me this. This is a 32 count Meadow Mist Silk Weaver. I've never had Silk Weaver. So it turns out, because somebody not too long ago messaged me and asked me what my favorite color was. And anything teal blue is my favorite color. And so this color showed up, and it was probably a few weeks after someone else had messaged me and asked me that. So I thought for sure that someone had asked on her behalf. And she said, nope, it was just my favorite color. So that's what, I picked one out for you and one out for me. So lucky me. And we have the same favorite color, and I love this. I have a few things I wanted to stitch. A few things I want to stitch on this already. So I think Christmas stuff would go really cute on this with like a pop of red. That would be awesome. So thank you so much for that. And then she sent these Primitive Gatherings kits. These are ridiculously cute. So this is a poinsettia. There's no color picture. It's just printed on the pattern. But she sent it's all kitted up in all the Valdani flosses there. And why I don't love the 6-stranded Valdani for cross stitching. They're Pearl Cottons for punch needle, and I use it most of the time. When I use it, I'm using it for wool, and I love it for that. Love it. It's like my preferred, and I actually have quite a bit of it, so I was very excited to get this. And then she sent me this really cute homespun elegance, and it's got a little piece of vintage wool that you put on here, and it's also all kitted up with the DMC, so thank you so much. This was crazy how much she sent me. And another Primitive Gatherings. This is super, super cute. This one is super cool because if you look, it's got like a cross-stitch linen in there that you embroider on it, and then you put the wool over it. How cool is that? So I'm really looking forward to doing that one. This one is going to be starting, this is going to be started like this week. Another Primitive Gatherings. It's also a kit, has all the wool in here. And look at how stinking cute this is. It's a table runner. So you do them on either side, but look at how stinking cute that is. I cannot believe she did not want to do this. How cute is it? But that's okay because I do, so thank you, Cheryl. I love that. And then she sent me some wool needles, which I didn't have any of these types of needles. And I end up doing a lot of my wool with my cross stitch needles because I can never find a pointy needle. So I love these. These are fantastic. And you can see I already used some of these. And yeah, she sent me two of them. So that's awesome. And then she sent me these two Threadwork Primitive cross stitch charts, which I love both of those. How cute is that? And then a little like box top. Very pretty. So thank you so much, Gerald. And then one last thing that I got in the mail from Kathleen. Beautiful card. I love these cards. Sometimes I'll buy them for myself just because there's always a little chart small on the back. It's an urn with a floral design, and then it's got the people in there. So that's awesome. So at Stitchville, you can actually get these next to the counter, and you can buy them for like $2.50, and they're worth it for just a small. And then she sent me this, and she is stitching it on the most beautiful fabric that Julie O'Connell from Reflections Framing picked out for her. And it is gorgeous. So this is from Kathleen of Kathleen's Trodden Trail. This is a new chart from Long Dog Samplers. And are you kidding me? Look at how gorgeous that is. It kind of reminds me of a Charles Wysocki, you know? Kind of got that vibe. I love it. It is way bigger than it looks, but I love it. I've seen it. So I've been following, is it Long Dog Stitcher on Instagram? And she's got it, like a huge chunk of this completed already. And I love it. So thank you, Kathleen. I really... You know I always love it when you send me things. Totally unnecessary. She's very, very generous. I actually think that that's just about all I have. One more thing. Oh, no, two more things. This is why I have things sitting out here so that I don't forget to show them. Because this is in daily use. And when I say daily use, I mean daily use. Let me see if it's in my box. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this I ordered from Humble Bumble Stitcher after Priscilla and Chelsea showed. She had gifted Priscilla and Chelsea one of her stitching notebooks, and they are beautiful. And as soon as I saw it, I had to have it. And I will definitely be posting the link to her Etsy site down below. Now this is much loved because this is no joke. This is used every single day. It's currently got my my Plum Street samplers, my stacks. Those three, I carry those in it, and I take it with me everywhere. So there's this little, it's a quilted journal, like Stitcher's notebook. And it says sewing on the front there. And that's all hand stitched by Sally. Beautiful. She's a lovely, prolific stitcher. She's also on Instagram. And then I had her do my initials and the year. And you will notice that there is a little spool that is the tie for the ties. I mean, everything in this is so well done. You can pick your color themes. And I asked for kind of browns and pinks. I like the one that Priscilla had. I like everything Priscilla has. And this is the inside. Isn't this gorgeous? So there's this little ticking here. I have a needle minder stuck to there. The fabric is gorgeous. Everything is beautifully made. She actually looks like she hand stitches that binding in there as well. And there's this little pad, and she included this little pin for me. And this is also stitched. She stitches that. Sorry, my daughter just called. And then she puts this hook on it, and there was this little bag as well. So you can get the extras. So these are all the little extras, or you can just buy the notebook too. I'm all about being extra. So I ordered the extras. And I promise you, you will not be sorry. Her finishing is absolutely superb. She included a little package of needles in here for me. And there's also a little thimble in here. I mean, her finishing details are incredible. Just look at this like little pocket, the little rosettes that she makes out of the fabric. I mean, everything is just beautiful. It's just lovely. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then I stick a needle in there as well. Love that. And so these are a couple other things that are included in the little extra pack. So this was just a little pin cushion. And has the same backing fabric and this really pretty button on it. Just beautiful. Beautiful. And this is like a cotton fabric. It's just so pretty. And one of my favorites. So this is the little scissor case and a little stitched scissor fob. The little scissor fob is backed with a little check, and the little scissor fob has my initial on it. Are you kidding me? And then she also included these little scissors for me. And I mean, her finishing is so meticulous. I can't even tell you. I think this is probably the nicest thing I've ever owned. Like, it's just, it's so amazing. Like, it just made me want to cry when I opened it. I love it so much. So beautiful. So thank you, Sally, for making these available to us. So pretty. So pretty. This is something that I will treasure for a very long time, and I love it. And seriously, I use this every single day. And I'm going to link her Etsy shop below. She also included, and I'm going to post some pictures here. She gave me a little bumblebee. I'm going to post a picture of mine because I left it downstairs. It's in my patriotic display. I just realized I forgot to bring that up. She knit that little sweater. I mean, are you kidding? It's so cute. It's so well made. It's just the most adorable little thing ever. And it's got this little nose on it that is adorable. And so she has chickens. She has bees. She has little Uncle Sam. I did check because I was thinking I might order one of those. And they were no longer on her Etsy site the last time I checked. So she must be out of those. And I doubt that she'll be making any more at this point. But so thank you so much, Sally. She's also on Instagram as the Humble Bumble Stitcher. I'll post a link to that below because, I mean, her pictures, they're so pretty. She stitches a lot and it's very pretty. She is in the UK, so shipping is a little bit more. She was great about it because her shipping price was posted when I purchased it, and I was like, okay, totally good with that. And then she actually ended up refunding me as overage on shipping. So she charged me actual shipping, which I thought was really nice. So anyways, I think that's all I've got. Sally, I seriously, I really want to thank you for this book. It's superb. It's so lovely, and I love it. I can't believe she takes the time to do these and then sells them. I can't believe, I mean, the time that she's got into this and then what she sells them for it's not, in my opinion, it's not enough. But I will treasure it for always, always. This is like this is what I'm all into. This is my favorite thing. This is my favorite stitching accessory. We should all be so lucky to have something as beautiful. I love this. Love it. Love it. So thank you, Sally. And oh, no. Dang it. I'm trying to get out of here. It's still over an hour. Ugh. Okay, so this was the gift bag from the retreat. Lots of goodies in here. So I generally try and do something that's handmade, which I'm not going to be doing that this year because this was kind of crazy how long it took me to do this. And now we have 75 people coming, so there's just no way I can do that. So included in the bag was some little like quilt clips, great for finishing. You get about 15 of them in there. You just fill in a little bag. And you get a snag nabbit. And who was I watching that said they couldn't find their snag nabbit? Probably sent her one, if I can remember who it was. And then some beeswax. And we had a farm theme, so this is all farm theme. So if you don't like farm theme stuff, then don't put your name down. But this is hand-poured, just little wax tarts, hand-poured by moi. And you get a cow, a pig, and there's a chicken. And this came out of a local hive in Wisconsin, a friend of mine. In here is a little pair of folding travel scissors. Then you get a scissor fob with a little piggy. And some matching counting pins. How cute are those? And Suzette just showed on her video how she uses counting pins. And you get a custom needle minder. That was made by Judy from Salt of the Art. And that is my Nubian, one of my Nubians and one of my Sonins. And you can see on the barn quilt, it says May 2018. And then it said Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. So very cute. And then last, inside this little vinyl mesh bag, you'll get that too. There is... I've kitted up Farm Fresh, which I kitted up for everyone. And you get a 32 count piece of linen to stitch that on. And you also get the floss and some chenille to finish it. And a little hand painted thread keep, which is this adorable little piggy. Isn't that cute? Look at, it's like Batman. Batman, oh look at, cookie, sorry. Okay, that's what you get. Okay, so that's what you get. You get all of that in this cute little vinyl mesh bag from the Container Store. And what I want to know from you is if you could pick a theme for a retreat, what theme would you pick? Regular rules apply. You must be 18 years of age. And if you're not a subscriber, whatever, I'm not going to check. I'd prefer you'd be a subscriber.
When you're done, Aiden wants to talk to you.
Aiden?
Yeah, like the little one. Dad said he has something important to tell you.
Oh. You have hay all over your shirt.
Yeah, I know. Me and Jake and Alex just did chores.
Okay, last interruption. And I thought he was here for a minute. That's my grandson. He needs to tell me something. So I gotta go because that is priority. Okay, so I just wanted to mention August 1st is the date that you need to comment by to be considered for the gift bag. So anyways, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you have a great next week. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I've had quite a few new subscribers from, from my last video. And every time I do a video and think that everybody in the world is about, if they're going to subscribe, they've already subscribed. And it just really speaks to how Flosstube and YouTube is really catching on. I can remember when I started doing these videos, I actually used to watch knitting podcasts. And I just remember when I did find Flosstube, and I was watching some of the great Flosstubers that were out there and who were, who kind of created this for all of us. And I just remember thinking to myself, wouldn't it be great if someday Flosstube got as big as the knitting podcasts? And I never ever thought I would see the day that would happen. And guess what? We're in it. We're living it right now. And what I love the most, I still watch a lot of knitting podcasts. And what I love about the knitting podcasts is that a lot of them are also starting to stitch. can't get over it. They're doing embroidery, but they're doing things with thread and yarn. And I just think that that's awesome. So kudos to all of you who put yourself out there and do this. There are just so many amazing Flosstubers out there. And there are so many people that I just really, really enjoy watching. And I just appreciate all of you who take the time to do it, because I understand what a pain in the arse this can be. So I thank you so much for those of you who watch regularly. I'm overwhelmed by it. And I thank you for all the kind comments. Thanks for your likes, and just have a great week. And that's it. So I'll see you next time. Bye.